What's going on, guys? Noah Sanford here. Just pulled off of Lake Mead, hanging out at Hemingway right now. The lake is right behind me. Just got done with a guided fishing trip with some customers. You guys already know the deal. I've been out here almost every day for the last month or so. My next couple weeks look similar, so I apologize for the lack of uploads. We've been out here putting people on fish almost every day. But if you guys are interested in a guided trip out here with me on Lake Mead, make sure to check out LasVegasSportFishing.com. First link in the description, or give me a call at my phone number on the end screen. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into the fishing report for Lake Mead this weekend. So going into Friday, the wind is going to be pretty bad in the afternoon. So if you're going to go out Friday, I would probably recommend going in the morning. Saturday doesn't look too bad. Realistically, when it comes to wind, Saturday afternoon is probably going to be better. We're going to have nice cool temperatures on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the 70s all 3 days. So it's going to be beautiful weather. And then Sunday is going to be pretty much flat all day long. So make sure if you've got a day this weekend to get out there, the fishing's good right now. I want to talk about kind of what I've been doing recently, because obviously that's a big part of the fishing report. So today, obviously, you're going to hear some wind. I apologize in advance for that. But it was a crazy windy day. We got out here a little bit around, I think a little bit after 7 o'clock this morning with my customers. Pulled off around 2 o'clock. Stayed a little bit longer than usual, but that is okay. Basically what we did today was we tried to bed fish for the first hour, and it didn't go super well because it was already a little bit choppy on the surface. It was hard to see. By about 8:30 or 9, from then on, the rest of the day, man, it was blowing 20 miles an hour plus every single place that we got to, for the exception of a couple little coves here and there. So that definitely makes the fishing tough, and it makes it to the point where you can't really bed fish very effectively unless you really know exactly where those beds are at. But even someone like me who's out here every day, it's still difficult to know exactly where to cast and how to work your bait when you can't see anything. So basically what we did was resort to finesse fishing out deep. And I'll tell you what, we ended up the day with a dozen bass. So we actually got a couple bonus stripers right at the end too. So we actually had a really solid day. We caught one that was well over 3, broke the guy's PB. And another one was we probably had 3 or 4 that were in the mid 2 range, really solid fish. And then a handful of, 1 to 1.5 pound smallies as well. So honestly, it was a really successful day. A couple really nice ones, a lot of decent ones. So good quality and numbers, right? And that's really kind of the norm that we're seeing right now. It's rare for me to have a trip that we don't catch at least a good handful of solid bass right now. And that's because springtime is good, the fish are active, they're eating because they're on those beds. You do anything to mess with them, man, you're gonna catch those fish. And then when you can't bed fish like today, when it's windy, if you're going out when it's windy, you wanna make sure that you're still keeping those finesse baits and those fallback lures, those confidence baits in your boat, because if it gets windy out there and you've only got bed fishing baits, you're gonna be done for. So that's gonna kind of bring me into my point, what I've been catching these fish on recently. So basically, guys, most of the fish I've been catching on beds, it really doesn't matter what you throw. All you're trying to do is get that reaction, that instinctual bite out of those fish. So when you're bed fishing, guys, I don't care if you throw a highlighter with a hook on it, they're probably gonna eat it. We could get into the nitty gritty specifics. Let me know down in the comments if you guys want me to do a full in-depth bed fishing seminar video when it comes to all the different kind of baits and techniques and stuff I like to use. I don't know if anyone wants to sit here for a half hour and listen to that, but if you guys do want to see a full in-depth bed fishing video with everything involved, I'll go ahead and do that if enough people ask for it in the comments. But basically, to keep it summarized, when you get a bed fish, guys, all you're trying to do is make it mad and mess with it. That's going to bring me to my next point. It's very important to have respect for these bed fish. So it's okay to catch these fish in moderation, okay? You don't want to go out there and catch the same fish over and over again. It's messed up. Don't go out there and hook the same fish, guys. Don't be catching fish that already have 3 and 4 holes in their face. These fish are really vulnerable right now, and they're very exposed because not only are they up shallow and easy to see, but they're vulnerable because they're willing to eat just about anything because they're in defense mode. So on all my guided trips, I'm rotating areas throughout the lake. I'm not catching the same fish every day. There's guys who do that. I don't get it. It's kind of messed up. If you're gonna go out there and bed fish, don't hammer the same fish. Make sure you're finding new water every single time you go out. I've caught enough fish this week that have 2 and 3 holes in their face, enough to know that there's guys who do it irresponsibly. So if you're gonna bed fish, do it with respect for the bass, guys. We do not have a stocked lake. The only way that this lake gets future generations of fish is not only being nice to those bed fish, but releasing them on their beds. And don't take them home right now, guys. I'm against eating bass pretty much year round, but if you're gonna do it, don't do it right now, okay? I've seen a couple Facebook posts going around of people on Lake Mead eating bass right now. Don't do it, guys. I'm not saying you can't keep your catch, but I just highly recommend not doing it right now, because if you're going out there and keeping all those bass, this is the only time of the year that they're reproducing. So if you want to be able to catch fish in the future, don't keep bass for another month. Moving me into my next point, let's talk about where I've been catching these fish. Most of the areas have been your typical spawning grounds, so you're going to want to look for those areas that are getting the afternoon sun, the backs and middles of coves that are protected from the wind, and the areas that are not going to be hit with tons of wakeboard boats, jet skis, pontoon boats that are just in there not fishing, just wreaking havoc on all those places. Try and get away from those areas and try to get to those areas that are nice and protected off of the main lake and have a good mixture of flat to slightly gradual bottom with sand and gravel. That's where you're gonna find those bedfish. It just simply is. They're not gonna be on the steep walls. They're not gonna be on the drop-offs. They're gonna be in those shallow, nice, warm areas. I think the last thing I need to talk about is water temperature. So the water right now is in the mid to even high 60s. I found a couple places. So today, with this wind blowing around, it cooled it down about a half degree or degree from yesterday, but today I found between 64 and 65. Yesterday when I was out, when it was in the mid to high 80s, I think it even got to 90 at one point, I found water that was even 67 and a half. So really starting to warm up. Plan on that when you're going out. I think that pretty much covers it though, guys. Like I said, if you want to see some more in-depth videos of me really taking the deep dive, whether it's about bed fishing or other topics, please leave ideas down in the description, because I don't know what you guys want to see unless you're giving me feedback. So any ideas, drop them down below. Appreciate you guys always coming along. My name's Noah Sanford. We'll see you guys out on the water.